Bills Mafia. You are tuned in to Bills World. I'm Justus General, and I'm here with Muki Hawkins, legend in 3 games. Listen, big game, big win. Buffalo Bills defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. 8-game win streak. Hottest quarterback in the world. Number 1 rush defense. Super Bowl contenders. The Buffalo Bills went into Jacksonville and got it done. Josh Allen had a masterful performance today with over 300 total yards, 3 total touchdowns, a 100 plus rating. I mean, defense came. What was the biggest thing to you, Coach? What was the biggest thing about this game that really put the Bills over the top?
I'm gonna say I've been saying it. You know, the defense has been balling. The defense has allowed the offense to hang in games, and you know, in certain situations, if given Josh Allen has the ball last, we saw the result today. So I don't want to say we saw a sign of maturity offensively, but again, the playoff experience is definitely what got this job done today. I mean, the way that the Bills just went about their business today. Like Josh Allen said in the press conference earlier, they didn't blink because guess what? They've been here, for 6-7 straight years already. So, you know, to be in a divisional playoff game with your back against the wall and you got to put that drive together. Josh Allen had been in so many of those type of games that he was just calm as how my man Stuart Scott says, cool as the other side of the pillow, going down there with a great drive and sealing the deal. Then the defense. I can't talk about the defense enough in good situations. Everybody talked about how Jacksonville had the number 1 run defense. Nobody gave a damn about the NFL's number 1 pass defense, obviously, because you know, they kind of kept Trevor Lawrence in check today. 18 for 30, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. And you know, Trey White today was just all over the place. And again, you need those veteran guys in moments and situations like that. You got Trey White out there. I mean, look at the way that Shaq Thompson was balling. He got to pick out there 8 tackles. I'm not sure what they're going to do if Terrell Bernard comes back next week. You cannot put Shaq Thompson on the bench. You cannot put Shaq Thompson on the bench. I mean, I love TB, but he just may have to sit this one out too. You got to, like, while the iron is hot, you cannot take Shaq Thompson out of this lineup. He's a veteran guy, and he is definitely showing you why you need a veteran out there in these situations. So again, great win for the Bills. But again, it's you know, you play in to stay in week to week, and you know the Bills is moving on.
I think it's very interesting. This Bills defense. I feel like you got the full experience of what you expect from the Bills defense, right? You got absolutely gashed in the run game, you know, for a couple drives. They were able to shore it up for the most part, but there were 2 drives which were scoring drives where the run game was just absolutely unstoppable and the Bills couldn't do anything about it. But then you also get the opportunistic abilities of this defense, right? Jordan Poyer goes out. Jordan Hancock is getting cooked. I mean, cooked. And it was almost reminiscent of like the Kyer Elam situation where a guy who didn't play much had to come in and play in a big role and wasn't quite prepared for it. But even in that situation, it's like you learn from your past mistakes, right? Because they were able to not only get the stops when they needed to, 4th down stop. I mean, just coming in clutch in every single time they needed to. They came in clutch outside of the 2, you know, touchdowns in the 4th quarter. But I mean, listen, Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback, right? The Jags team is a good team, right? So it's going to happen, especially in the playoffs. That's why you have Josh Allen on the other side of the field, because he can remedy a lot of those, you know, shortcomings. But for them to be able to score a touchdown with a minute left and, all right, your turn, and not only say your turn, but then get a interception, a game-sealing interception on 1st and 2nd down. I mean, in that situation, we're used to seeing, oh, the guy's definitely about to go down and get in field goal range. We'll see if they score a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And they just said, no, ball game. It's over. We're moving on. And I thought that was really, really impressive to see from, a relatively young Bills defense. And you said it, Shaq Thompson. Oh, my goodness. He almost had 2 interceptions today. The Bills defense really, by my count, almost had 5 picks today. Should have had 5 picks today. Holy cow, Trey White came on.
So
Holy cow.
Those veterans. That's what it all boils down to. Those veterans in those situations that's not going to blink, that's not going to be afraid to go out there and make a play. And again, experience is your best teacher. Bills is the most experienced playoff team in the AFC. So again, they play in to stay in, and we'll have to see who's going to be the opponent next. Everybody's getting ready to watch New England versus the Chargers. So we got 2 scenarios, right? If New England wins, then Bills automatically go to Denver. If the Chargers pull off an upset, then the Bills have to wait till Monday night to see if they go to Pittsburgh or to Houston. So there's been some great playoff games all this week, and this one didn't disappoint. Obviously, it's going to be a new world champion. Philadelphia just went down, so I guess the divorce with A.J. Brown and Coach Nick Sirianni can happen right away. I hope the Bills release Darius Slay too. Just get rid of him. Now that Philly's out of it, he can stay his behind up there in Philly and watch Buffalo.
He can join his team for real.
Since it's too cold, we on the road, bro. So we on the road. So it was nice in Jacksonville this week. So you could have been a part of that. So maybe the Bills will release Slay so he can stay his butt in Philly all he wants.
So I want to ask you about who you prefer to play between New England, Pitt, and Houston. But before we do that, I want to talk about the offense real quick because the game is going to start soon. But I do want to talk about the offense. I mean, listen, this is we know what our identity is. It's going to be running behind James Cook and then try to get what you can in the pass game because the guys on the outside of like Shakir and Shavers, you know what I mean? Cooks was good today. Cooks was okay today. Cooks had a big drop. It would have made this game a lot less.
He had a
no. But hold on, let me finish. Because I'm not trying to diss him. He had a big drop that I feel like would have made the game a lot less controversial than it ended up being. But I feel like that veteran leadership to be able to have that drop and then come back and then make the biggest play of the playoffs so far, getting a whole shot from Josh Allen 50 yards down the field, for him to be able to provide that type of game-changing ability for this offense, I think is massive. And for Josh Allen to play damn near perfect while nursing a foot injury, nursing a knee injury he got, nursing a head injury he got, and nursing a hand injury he got, for him to be able to to just fight through all that and still playing like the best quarterback in the world, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, you got to give Joe Brady credit. They was 4 for 4 on the bubble screen today. They did have a nice setup play with Dalton Kincaid on the fake stand up. Hit him on the wheel route going down the sideline. So I give Brady, definitely credit today because offense did rise to the occasion when it needed to rise to the occasion. And then, Josh, he allowed Josh Allen to put the cape on when he needed Josh Allen to put the cape on instead of throwing that damn bubble screen. You throwing the ball laterally, not up the field. You don't give Josh Allen a chance to put the cape on. So good to see that, Joe Brady allowed Josh Allen to do that. And you see the results, right? When you put the ball in Josh Allen's hands, 9 times out of 10, when the game is on the line, he's going to make, probably the best decision, for this team 90% of the time. And, again, he went out there and proved it today. You got to give his wide receivers tons and tons of credit because every pass just about was thrown their way, they caught it. Keon Coleman's big catch in that second quarter was huge because the Bills was down 3-7 right there. That was a 36-yard play that put them in scoring position. The Bills went on down and took the lead, and I think right then and there gave them the confidence that they needed to, stay in the game. So, big catch from Coleman, big catch from Cooks, Knox with some big catches out there. You know what I mean? Shavers with the big catch to start the game off. So you got to give those receivers a lot of credit. And how dare Jacksonville, think that, they was going to shut down the run and force Josh Allen to beat him with his arm. He did that today, 80% throwing the ball. One score in the air, but Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He's going to get a few on the ground. So I hope teams look at this and say, hey, we're not going to, go that route, because if we allow Josh Allen to beat us, then this team will definitely be in the Super Bowl that way. And, for James Cook to only have 46 yards on 15 carries today, and the Bills still pull out the victory against the #1 rushing defense in the league, I don't care who we play next week.
Fair enough. And I kind of answered my question. I don't care if only team I don't want to see is Houston.
Nobody want to see it because it just looked so bad with the pass rush. I think that's the team that the Bills want to see the most. You know what I mean? Because we haven't beat Houston in the playoffs neither. So they kind of owe them too. So I really don't care. I know Buffalo can go to Denver and beat Denver if need be. Would be nice if the Bills get opportunity to play Pittsburgh. It's right up the street. The Bill. A lot of people know that the Bills will probably be favored that game if the Bills go down to Pittsburgh and play Houston. Bills will welcome that challenge because they played probably their worst game of the season. I'm quite sure, they would love to get the opportunity to beat Houston again, play Houston again.
Yeah, I don't want to see Will Anderson at all. I hope somebody clipped them. Well, I mean, do I think Josh Allen can beat CJ Stroud in playoff football? Yes. Do I want to see injured Josh Allen have to go up against that pass rush? Not if I don't have to. That's all I'm saying.
And CJ Stroud is what? Well, I don't even want to say CJ Stroud. I'm gonna say Pittsburgh Steelers is undefeated on Monday night. So I'm going with Pittsburgh. I'm not going against that stat until Houston prove otherwise.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with that stat. So let's just say the Chargers pull off the upset. Bills will be going to Pittsburgh, and Chargers can easily go to Denver and beat them as well, divisional opponent.
Great.
So they can go there and pull it off. So if the Chargers want to get on this run to Buffalo, keep on doing what you're doing and meet us back here in Buffalo for the AFC Championship game.
It can be argued that the Bills just got over the biggest hurdle that they're going to face in these playoffs. I don't want to jinx it or say that, but it can be argued that way. There's a lot of people that were saying this is the game that's going to have the AFC Super Bowl team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope they got the same energy around. I hope they had that same energy. Hope they had that same, because they was all nicknaming it all week long. Well, they didn't want to say, Jacksonville will win because they know, Josh Allen is the elder statesman, so to speak. So that's why they said, oh, well, whoever wins this game is going to come out of the AFC. We'll see if they had that same energy on if the Bills got to play Denver or if the Bills got to play Houston or Pittsburgh. Let's see if they have that same energy this week. But the Bills heard the chatter all week long, and they went out there, didn't blink again, and when the moment never got too big for them, and that's where you see a more experienced Buffalo Bills team. The moment never got too big for them. They didn't waver. They understood the assignment, and you're only as cool as your leader is. And Josh Allen, again, ice water in his veins, and go out there and with the clutch moment.
Yeah, you got a quarterback that's done this in AFC championship games. You got a quarterback that's done this in the final moments of divisional games, and he's done it. He's put his team ahead or put his team in position to be ahead or tied or whatever the case may be in the biggest moments. So wild card, I guess really isn't that stressful to Josh Allen. Although, my heart was beating. But, I was just tweeting about this. I think about how stressed I was during that final, Josh's game-winning drive. You think about how stressed Jaguars fans must have been, knowing that 17 is about to walk you down and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that's got to be like when you see Brady come in the final drive of the playoffs. That's got to be a scary feeling.
That's how Bills fans felt when Pat Mahomes got the ball.
Mahomes, yeah, absolutely.
Now
100%.
Jacksonville fans feel what Bills Mafia has been feeling for quite a while. And the Bills
Well, hopefully the
took
whole
the monkey
AFC
off
will
their
get the
back.
field.
They took their monkey off the back with Josh Allen in his first road playoff win. So, I mean, only thing left to do now is just take it week by week and get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, hopefully the entire AFC will get to experience that feeling of seeing Josh Allen coming and knowing there's nothing you can do. But this game is about to start, so we'll catch you guys later in the week. Also catch us on the radio, 98.5.
Go Chargers, go! How Arnold Schwarzenegger said, "Go Chargers, go!"
All right, Coach, go ahead and send us out. Bills defeat the Jaguars.
Bills, first road win in Josh Allen's history. Do you believe?